Hello there students, welcome back to this video series. This is your instructor Dhruvi Bhatt. As you know, we are talking about presentation strategies. In the previous video, we understood that when you are given a presentation topic, don't just immediately sit down, open your PowerPoint and start making a presentation. Before that, you need to do many things. That was planning your presentation. Know the occasion of your presentation, know your audiences, collect material, etc. We discussed all this in the previous lecture. Today, I promised you that once you collect that material, I will explain you how to structure or organize that material. In this lecture, we would try to understand that how would you make the separate parts of your presentation into a perfectly looking sequential presentation. What things would you require for doing this? Students, you need to make a proper structure, a proper organization of your presentation. We have collected the separate pieces of the puzzle. Just the things left to do is bringing these pieces together so that they fit perfectly. How will you do so? Students, ideally your presentation is divided into three major parts. Remember this, into three major parts. Introduction of the presentation, body of the presentation, last but not the least, conclusion of the presentation. What all things you should include in all three of these things would be taught by me here today, starting with first, of course, the introduction part. Introduction of any presentation is a very important part because here is where you firstly connect with your audiences. If you connect with a bang, they will be motivated to listen to you throughout the presentation. Otherwise, they might lose interest from the very beginning itself. Let us compare two types of introductions here. If I introduce, okay, hello students, our today's topic is presentation strategies. I'll start by outlining and structure. I'll start with introduction. This is one type of introduction. The second type of introduction is where you greet your audiences. Hello everyone, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever. Welcome to this lecture, welcome to this presentation. I'm very glad I'm teaching you, and things like why we need to study this particular topic today, trying to relate it to some other things. All these things would go a long way. Instead, if I introduce that, hello students, welcome back to this video series, and after some time talking about the real subject, this type of introduction will go a long way. Let us try to understand what are different elements which you need to include while making a very good and interesting introduction. First thing which you need to add in the introduction is an attention grabber. It is something which will propel your audiences to listen to you whether or not they want to listen to you. They are hereby forced, but willingly forced, to listen to whatever you are saying by a very good attention grabber. An attention grabber can be a set of questions, it can be an anecdote, it can be a quote or anything like that. For example, if you are going to give out a presentation on effective use of DDT based insecticides, you can start with some of the questions like, are you all aware of what DDT is? Do you use DDT based insecticides at your home or offices? Do you know harmful effects of DDT based insecticides? Have you heard about what are the disadvantages or what are the side effects caused by DDT based insecticides, etc. Here every one of the audiences would entangle themselves with you and they will try to answer your questions whether loudly or in their minds, but they would be taken back by your questions and they would be propelled to listen to the remaining of your presentation. This would create some good impact on the audiences. So start with set of questions, or you can start with a story maybe or an anecdote you might link to the particular presentation. You can start with things which can catch the attention of your audiences. After you are good with the attention grabber, start with a greeting. It can be good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and better so, you can start if your presentation is nearby to some occasion. Merry Christmas to all of you, or Happy Earth Day to all of you, or you can start with Happy World Education Day. I hope you all have a lifelong learning. You can start with such kinds of things. Also, you can start by praising your audiences. I'm so obliged to be able to present in front of such intellectual people, or it's lovely talking to such happy faces. Or you can start by, I have never presented in such an exciting crowd before. This is really a pleasure. You can start by greeting the people or by praising them. Obviously, a nice praise goes a long way. You want them to listen to you? Just praise them a little. Okay. Thirdly, after the greeting, establish some credibility. Students, why should the audiences listen to you? Who are you? Here is where in the introduction part you will introduce to them who you are. You will introduce your knowledge about that particular subject. Say subject I was talking about. You can give a line like, from past 5 years I am doing research in different insecticides, different chemicals based on DDT, different types of chemicals which are used in households, in offices for curbing insects, and here I am talking about the effective use of DDT based insecticides. This will give your audiences a reason to listen to you. Obviously, they will listen to you only if you are a creditable person, if you are the person having knowledge higher than them. You need to provide them this assurity that you are the person who will actually rescue them from their difficulties related to DDT based insecticides for right now. Okay students, moving forward, the next thing important in the introduction is the topic and the thesis statement. In the previous lecture, I already told you much detail about the difference between the topic and the thesis statement. Thesis statement is exactly what you are going to mention in your presentation, while topic is more of a generalized view. Introduce the topic, go beyond and introduce the thesis statement. I am talking about DDT based insecticides today. Particularly, we would be talking about how to effectively use DDT based insecticides so that they are not harmful to you. Moving forward, you will be giving out a preview of your entire presentation. In short, try to list out all the points you would be discussing today. For example, today I would be discussing various harmful effects that are caused by DDT based insecticides, various side effects, parts where people wrongly use or ineffectively use DDT based insecticides. After that, I'll showcase to you how to effectively use them, what are the precautions you must take, and how they can be a very useful tool or a very useful insecticide. Okay. This is a preview. From the preview, again, after completing it, you will establish the rules for question and answer session. You can tell the audiences what they can do if they have some question in between. Obviously, they would be having not one, many questions. How they can ask you these questions, when will you answer them, how will you answer them? They would be waiting for all these things to be introduced. So introduce this in the introduction that my presentation would be for 20 minutes. After that, for 10 minutes, we will leave the session open for your question and answers. You can ask me different questions one by one and I'll answer you. If during my presentation you have some immediate or some doubt which cannot wait for long, you may raise your hand. After I complete my topic, I'll get back to you and you can ask me the question. This is how you can establish the rules for question and answer. Lastly, when you have completed your introduction, it is time to smoothly transition towards the main body of your presentation. Here is where you will actually discuss the topic at hand. All the gimmicks, all trying to impress the audience is done. Down to business now, but they must not think that you are immediately shifting to something very serious. Give a smooth transition. As I told you, we would be talking about how people use DDT based insecticides ineffectively. I'll start with the first ineffective use which people tend to do. You can give different numbers to each of your points to make sure that people stay with you in this transition, or you can use any different methods, but make sure that the transition seems smooth and natural instead of unnatural and forced. Okay, you are good with introduction now. Smoothly moving towards the main business, which is the main body. The main body of our presentation will be arranged according to different patterns, and along with the main body you will be needing certain support material which will help you to take your presentation to that next level. Okay, let us first try to understand that how you will arrange the body of your presentation. How do you want, or how is it more advisable to suitably arrange your data in the presentation? To get rid of the headache of ma'am, how to arrange my presentation, I'll teach you here different patterns which will help you to arrange your presentation in specific way which can be engrossing to your audiences. Which are different patterns? The first and foremost pattern in which you can give out a presentation is a chronological pattern. As you all know, chronological pattern means here you will arrange your data date wise, or we can say in the sequence of time period in which different events occur. So that is a chronological pattern. Different topics like history of Ahmedabad, like history of sports, or different major events in cricket. All these topics can be arranged in chronological pattern so that people can link to those events and the presentation more effectively. Second type of pattern which can be used is cause and effect pattern. Here your presentation will firstly define the cause, and after that the effect which is caused by that particular cause. Different problems like global warming, like terrorism, or more grave issues can be discussed using cause and effect pattern. These presentations will showcase the different hazards and their effect on the world or on the society. The third pattern is problem and solution pattern. This is more like cause and effect, but here it gives a solution to the problem too. There we are giving the cause of the problem and the problem itself. Here we are giving the solution too. Here the presentation is divided into two parts, that what is the problem being addressed here and what is the solution we are offering. For example, our problem was harmful effects by ineffective use of DDT based insecticides. I am giving you the solution about how you can effectively use DDT based insecticides and get rid of those harmful effects. This presentation is problem solution pattern. The last type of pattern which you can use is categorical pattern. This is the simplest of all. Just divide your presentation topic wise or categories wise and you are good to go. For example, right now I am giving out a presentation on presentation strategies, and the strategies are divided into different parts like planning, like outlining and structuring, and so on. Here you will divide the presentation in different categories or different topics. That is a categorical pattern. Students, but main text only is not enough sometimes. You will need some supporting actors to make your main text more effective or to strengthen your argument. In order to strengthen your argument, you require some supporting material. What are different types of supporting material which can be useful for strengthening your argument or for beautifying your presentation? First and foremost, include some definitions of difficult words. If there are some words which are difficult to understand by the no voice audiences, everyone sitting there would not be an expert, would not be equally intellectual. That is why if there are some words which require more understanding, then it would be better to include definitions in your presentation. For example, today we would be discussing more about artificial intelligence. First, start by defining artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is intellectual behavior imparted to machines through different codes written in computer. This would help them easily understand difficult terminologies, difficult words or more technical words. Secondly, make sure that you include some examples so that they can relate to these examples of daily life. You can give certain examples like, have you ever talked with a chatbot where you are typing and there is an instantaneous reply from the computer, but actually no one is there present on the other end? That is a chatbot, and it is one of the example of artificial intelligence. Give real life examples of what people are using in their daily lives to relate to more difficult topics. It would be more helpful. Thirdly, you can create some analogies. Analogy is a direct comparison to some more known topic or some more relatable topic. For example, it is difficult for people to understand electricity. But if you define that electricity is the current produced by flowing water, everyone can know that what flowing water is, and they can make certain idea from those words. Try to relate them to some easily findable or easily understandable objects or things. Create an analogy. It would help them understand better. Lastly, students, we engineers do not take anything on face value. We would require more numerical proof, more scientific proof to everything. Better is if you include statistical proofs in your presentations. It can be graphs, charts or any type of statistical objects which will strengthen your argument, which will make sure that if you are telling that our organization is making profit, have some numerical statistics to back that up. If you are telling that India is a good trade market, then have some statistics. Explain to people that there are more than 2000 scripts listed in Indian Stock Exchange compared to only 240 scripts in Indonesia. It creates quite a difference, right? So India is better than many of the countries if we are talking about trade economy. You can include statistics, real numbers. Obviously, I have bluffed right now. Include real numbers, include numbers which are trustworthy, so that even if they Google it after going home, do not Google my statistics. I am just giving examples. I hope you know that. So that even if the audiences Google things after they go home, they get to know that you were very strong on your statistics. Okay students, moving to the last part of our body, which is the conclusion. Here is where you get one more chance to impress your audiences. Give out a conclusion which will lead to some action. I told you that this is the presentation where you want to make a difference in the minds of your audiences. Conclude the presentation strongly. Make sure that your audiences take some action based on this presentation, and at least they take home some little part of your thinking. This is just what presentations are for. Thank you so much for such patiently listening to me, students. We would be talking more about presentations in our next lecture. Until then, this is Dhruvi Bhatt signing off. Thank you so much. Bye until next time.